Hey, what is going on, you guys? And welcome back to yet another Gawa deck tech video. Yeah, what's been up, guys? I hope everyone's doing well. Sorry for the, lack of uploading for the last month and a half. I have no one to blame but myself. Basically, I started a new job, and that's pretty much taken up all of my time. Plus, I've been building this deck that I obviously wanted to wait to be finished before I brought you the video. So today we're going to be looking at Najeela the Blade Blossom. This is a CEDH, a fully competitive deck. So this is my Najeela. She is a 3/2 legendary human warrior. Whenever a warrior attacks, you may have its controller create a 1/1 white warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking. All colors, you untap all creatures. They gain trample, lifelink, and haste until end of turn. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. So yeah, this deck, like I said, is fully CEDH, so this is going to be kind of on the more expensive side, but I mean, for all my CEDH players out there, this will probably be a little treat for you. So before we get into that, I will say thank you guys so much, like I always say, and yeah, let's hop right into the video. So the tokens you're going to need for this deck are treasures, any two type of treasures. You're going to need squirrel tokens, and you're just going to need a bunch of warrior tokens, obviously, because you're going to be making the warriors with Najeela. And I have the teddy bear at the end. If I run out of warrior tokens, I just put that as a 1/1. You know what I mean? All right, so tokens aside, let's get into the mana producing, so the lands of this deck. So the deck runs all 10 of the shock lands. So, the basically pay 2 life, they come in and they tap for, one of 2 colors. So Steam Vents, Breeding Pool, Stomping Ground, Hollowed Fountain, Overgrown, Sacred Foundry, Watery Grave, Temple Garden, Blood Crypt, Godless Shrine. So that is the 10 shock lands. And as well, we run Thran Quarry. So this one is basically, you add 1 mana of any color, and if you control a creature, you sacrifice it as well. We have add 1 mana of one colorless to your mana pool, or you add 1, it takes 3 damage to you. We have Forbidden Orchard, we have Exotic Orchard, we have Command Tower, City of Brass, we have a Gemstone Caverns, and we also have a mana confluence. So in total, I think there is 18 lands in total, but it makes it up with it because of how much mana producing sources there are and stuff in this deck. So yeah, let's actually hop into the main parts of this deck. So we start off with a Psychrift. Pretty self-explanatory why Psychrift's in here. You return a target non-land permanent to its owner's control, or you can do it and return all creatures and everything to everyone's hand. We have an Eldrami's Call. Search your library for a creature card, reveal that card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So for a 2-drop, it's pretty good because you can grab the combos with Najeela, like Derevi, or, if you already have Derevi in hand and you want to just go look for a Dockside, Grand Abolisher, or something to just shut down everyone. So, you can activate your combos and still kick ass. We have the Rite of Flame here. You basically add 2 red mana to your mana pool, and you add red to your mana pool for each. So if everyone else is running Rite of Flame, and just say another person has in the graveyard, you'll end up getting 3 red instead of 2. We have the classic old faithful Thassa's Oracle, the combo where basically you just look at the top X cards and you just name a card that's not in your deck and you just mill yourself out. But that will be with another card after, with the Tainted Pact and Demonicon. I'll show you when we get to it. We have Mnemonic Betrayal. Basically, you exile all cards from all opponents' graveyard, and you cast those cards this turn, and you can cast them through with mana of any type. So it's pretty good, to be honest, because if you get rid of a card, like, I don't know, for example, Dockside or something like that, you can use it. So yeah, Savine's Wreck. Basically, return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, and you can, if you cast it from your graveyard, you can do another copy, and you can also flashback it, so you can bring 2 back instead of 1. Wish Cloud Talisman, just a nice little tutor. Just tap one, tap it, and pass it on to someone, and it has 3 charges on it. We got a Force of Will. You pay 1 life, you remove a blue card from the game, and you just counter a spell. Force of Will is a beautiful card. We have Simian Spirit Guide. Remove Simian Spirit Guide, and you add red mana to your mana pool. Talisman of Creativity, or Dominance, sorry. We do have Creativity in here, but you tap, you add a colorless, or you can tap for a blue or black, and it deals 1 damage to you. We do have a lot of artifacts in this deck that will end up producing mana and stuff, so it works out. We have Gatixian Probe, so you can pay 2 life or a blue, and you can look at the target player's hand and draw a card. Worldly Tutor, search your library for a creature card, reveal that, put it into your, put it on the top, and then shuffle your library. Another good card for if you're looking for your combo pieces. We have probably the most card that I get the most hate on in this deck is Oko, Thief of Crowns. Just for that second ability there, target artifact or creature loses all abilities and becomes a green elk creature with base and toughness 3/3. Just turn your friends or your opponents, their commanders or something that they work their ass off into a 3/3 elk, so they have no abilities. That's great. So we have Derevi here now. So Derevi is a single card combo with Najeela. So Derevi reads, whenever Derevi enters a battlefield or a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may tap or untap target permanent. So basically, you're going to want to have all 5 colors. You want to have Derevi out, and you'll play Derevi. You'll play Najeela. You'll attack with your 5 warriors. Basically, then Derevi will trigger 5 different times, allowing you to untap all 5 of those mana sources that produce all 5 colors. And then basically you can activate Najeela's ability, redoing the process, and then you have infinite combats, infinite combats. So then you gain infinite warriors with trample, and you get infinite lifelink, and they have haste, all that good stuff. We have Reanimate, put target creature card from graveyard onto the battlefield on your control. You lose life equal to its converted mana cost. So it's good just in case you end up losing your Derevi or something. You're just back again. Soul Ring, add 2 colorless, classic. We have Tainted Pact here. Exile the top card of your library. You may put that card into your hand unless it has the same name as another card. Exile this way. Repeat this process until you put a card in your hand, or exile 2 cards with the same name, whichever comes first. Thassa's Oracle and Tainted Pact pretty much auto win you the games for 4 mana. So, it's cheese. Next, we have Druid's Repository. Whenever a creature you control attacks, put a charge counter on Druid's Repository. Remove a charge counter from Druid's Repository. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Basically, another 1-card combo with Najeela. So, you have Najeela and Druid's Repository. You'll basically swing out. This will activate this, getting you that. You will then attack again. They don't even have to connect, so you can just keep repeating, rinse and repeating. It's great. Next, we have Skull Clamp. Equipped creature gets +1/-1, so it's good to just put on your warriors, or we actually do make squirrels in this deck. For all my Chatterfang lovers, I put them in this deck, and basically you're just going to kill off the token and draw 2 cards. Lotus Petal, sacrifice Lotus Petal, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Just a 0-drop. Awesome. Windfall, each player discards his or her hand and draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards to a player discarded this way. So, it's just a cheese case scenario. Just say you have Windfall in your hand and another card, or you only just have Windfall in your hand. You just play it, and let's just say someone has 7. Or someone might have something like a Reliquary Tower, and you'll just draw to the greatest number, and then you'll have to discard anyways, right? So, next we have a Neoform. Additional cost to cast a spell. Sacrifice creature. Search your library for a card with converted mana cost 1 equal to the sacrifice. So you can do that for a whole different things. You can look for Derevi, you can look for Dockside, you can look for Grand Abolisher. You can look for pretty much all the cards and stuff that you need at that moment. So, yeah, another really, really, really good card. Phantasmal Image. I usually use Phantasmal Image, I'm not going to lie, for Dockside. I love Dockside. You just make it come in as a copy, but you can make it be a copy of any card on the battlefield, so even your opponent's, which is really good. Next, we have Veil of Summer. Draw a card. If an opponent has cast a blue or black spell this turn, spells you control can't be countered this turn, and you and your permanents gain hexproof from blue and from black. So it's good. We got Dress Down. Flash, when dressed down, enters the battlefield, draw a card. Creature lose all abilities. So it's just really good. You just play it as an interrupt flash and be like, yep, they don't have that ability anymore. Next, we have Final Fortune. Take an extra turn after this one. At the end of this turn, you lose the game. So it's really just a last, case scenario with with Najeela. If you think you can do it and you can end up getting Derevi out or something and starting the combo, then that's probably the best bet. Next, we have a super cheese card, Orcish Bowmasters. Just flash it in if someone's drawing crazy off of Ristic. Just say someone's feeding someone who has Ristic Study or something. Just get like 10 or 12 pings and just start pinging their big creatures and stuff. Orcish Bowmasters is just a crazy, crazy card. I had it in the, it was in the list originally, but then I got rid of it, but I ended up finding one locally, so I was like, yeah, I'm just going to buy that. So next we have Eldritch Evolution. So additional cost, you sacrifice a creature, search your library for a creature card where costs X or less, where X is 2 plus the sacrifice creature's converted mana. So another good way to grab another cheesy card like that. Miscast, counter target instant or sorcery spell unless this controller pays 3. Just pretty cheese. Draineth Magistrate. Your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere from their hand. I just gotta say this card should be banned, but that is just the Gawa opinion. We got Ragavan. Ragavan, basically, if he hits, you exile the top card of your library, and you create a treasure token, but he also has the dash, so you can cast him and you can return him right to your hand. So early game, Ragavan's really good if you can keep dashing him. Next, we got Chrome Mox. Imprint. When Chrome Mox enters the battlefield, you may exile a non-artifact, non-land from your hand. Add 1 mana of any color from the exiles, casting. Next, we have Culling Ritual. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Add black or green for each permanent destroy this way. Just a really, really good board removal, and it actually helps you out because you get a bunch of mana. Next, we have Lotho, Corrupt Sheriff. Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, you lose 1 life and create a treasure token. So this one's just really, really good because, again, if someone's feeding off cards, you can just be like, okay, I lose a life, but I get a treasure token. Next, we have Kaya's Ghost Form. So it's basically 1 black, you just throw it on top, you throw it on Najeela, and basically whenever enchanted permanent dies or put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. So it's just really good. March of the Swirling Mist. Basically, you pay X and a blue. You could just pay that mana cost, or you can just basically get rid of blue cards and basically just phase out as many creatures as you want that you pay for. Next, we have Elvish Spirit Guide. Basically, just a pitch. Add a green to your mana pool. I do love this card art though. This card art's awesome. Delighted Halfling. Just a Cavern of Souls on a creature. Just tap to add, and then you can add 1 mana of any color. Spend this only to cast a legendary spell. It can't be countered. So it's good if you just want to cast Derevi or Najeela. Next, we have Ranger Captain. He basically just enters the battlefield. You search your library for a creature card. Usually it's Esper Sentinel is what I end up searching, but and you sacrifice Ranger Captain. Your opponents can't cast non-creature spells this turn. Next, we have the Elves of the Deep Shadow. You just tap for a black, and it does 1 damage to you. We have my beautiful Judge Foil Demonic Tutor. Search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. The normal Demonic Tutor stuff. I did not mean to take out the production. All right. Next, we have the Archivist of Ogma. So basically, whenever an opponent searches their library, you gain 1 life and draw a card. We have the Esper Sentinel here. Basically, whenever an opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, draw a card, unless that player plays X. It's just good in a little card outlet. We got Snap. Return target creature to its owner's hand, untap up to 2 lands. Demonicon, there's the other one that will end up being in sync with the Thassa's Oracle. We got Dispel, counter target instant spell. What am I doing? Gamble. Just search your library for a card, put it in, and then you discard a random. It's basically just Entomb because you never really hit it. Deflecting Swat, if you just a free counter spell to deflect it to somewhere else if you control a commander. Mystical Tutor, search your library for an instant, interrupt mana source or sorcery card, reveal that card to all players, and put it on the top of your library. We have this one as well, Nature's Will. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, tap all lands that player control, and you untap all lands you control. So it's another one-card combo with Najeela. We have Opposition Agent. Flash, you control your opponents while they're searching their libraries. When an opponent's searching their library, they exile a card, like each card that they want. You just basically exile it, which is great. You have Tinderwall. You play it for 1. You sacrifice. You add 2 red to your mana pool. That's basically the only reason I'd use it. We've got Enlightened Tutor. Search your library for an artifact or enchantment card and reveal that card to all players. Shuffle your library and put the revealed card back on top of it. We have Samut. Samut's a really, really good card. He has First Strike, Vigilance, and Haste, and whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, if that creature enters the battlefield this turn, draw a card. So it's really good because, like, you know, if you make all your warriors with Najeela and you do, like, 6 of your warriors that just came in hit face, then basically you just draw 6 cards. So, I mean, it's a win-win. Next, we got Jeweled Lotus. Sacrifice Jeweled Lotus, add 3 mana of 1 color, so you know that's just an instant. You get Jeweled Lotus, Najeela. Grand Abolisher. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities from artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. Next, we got technically 3 mana rocks here. We have Arcane Signet, Birds of Paradise, and Noble Hierarch. I'm just trying to speed this up. Sorry, guys, I don't want to take much of your time. We have Chatterfang here, just double up, and when you make the warriors, you'll also make squirrels. We have Noble Hierarch, just a mana dork. We have, whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token for Professional Facebreaker. Talisman of Creativity, another little dork. We have Flusterstorm, probably my favorite, you know, counterspell in the game. Just instant or sorcery spell unless a controller pays 1 and it has a storm count. So, I mean, it's really good. We have Vampiric Tutor. It's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, you search a library for 1 card and you put that card on top of your library. We have the Secret Layers, Teferi's Protection. Next, we have Imperial Seal. Search a library for a card, shuffle that card, and put that on top. We have Rhystic Study. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, you may draw a card unless that player pays 1. We have Deadly Rollick. If you control a commander, you may cast a spell with a painless mana cost, exile target creature. Mental Misstep, just pay a blue and you counter target spell will convert a cost 1. Adnaz, you reveal the top card, so you basically pay life equal to like the blips up in this corner, and basically you get those cards. Fierce Guardianship, if you control a commander, you may cast a spell that pays mana cost, counter non-creature spell. Dockside, Swords of Plowshares, just exile a target card and they gain life. You have Offer You Can't Refuse, you counter a target non-creature spell, and its controller creates 2 treasure tokens. Basically the same thing, but you counter a target enchantment, instant, or sorcery spell, and its controller creates a 2/2 bird. Mystic Remora, basically another 1-drop card draw, which is just insane. We have Silence. Your opponent can't cast spells this turn. We have Deathrite Shaman. So basically the only thing I ever really use it for is you exile target land from a graveyard and you have 1 mana of any color for that land. We have Diabolic Intent as additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature, and then search a library for a card and put that card in your hand, then shuffle. We have Agerson Pilgrim, which is a 1-drop to tap for a white. And we finally have a Mana Crypt. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the Najeela video. Sorry about that little camera shake at the end there, but you know. But I do want to say really, really thankful for all the support and stuff lately. We're going to be hopefully getting back to, you know, our regular uploads and stuff, and you know, just go from there and see what this comes out of this, because you know I do enjoy this YouTube grind that I'm on, and that I'm happy that you guys are a part of. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy. I love y'all. Stay safe. Stay positive. And remember, if it ain't Gawa Gang, it's no gang. I love y'all. Peace.